Everyone, welcome to Passion for Books. My name is Kim, and today I'm bringing you an update on my May TBR list of books. If this interests you, please continue watching my video. Okay, so this update, I'm going to start off with a book that I did finish, go through the ones that I am in the progress of reading, and then finish with the two books that I've not started this month. So the first book that I did finish, this was The Secret Ingredient of Wishes. When I originally unboxed this, and this is a book from my bookcase club, wasn't as drawn to the picture and the cover of this book, but I was surprised how much I actually really did enjoy this book. I would highly recommend it if you like any paranormal. It is a paranormal romance. It does have magic in the form of wishes and all the trouble that ensues with that. Very, very sweet read, and yes, it is a pun for this particular book. I would highly recommend Susan Bishop Criswell, and I am intrigued enough by this book to pick up other books from her later this year. So I would definitely highly recommend you guys reading this book if you're into that genre. So very much enjoy that book. Alright, the next book that I'm in the process of reading, it is from my Faith Box subscription service. It is called If by Mark Batterson. I enjoyed the first part of this book, and I'm only on page 84. I'm in the second part of the book. I think there are like 3 or 4 parts to this book. And I'm slowly beginning to realize that I do like his books up to a point, but then I fall out of love with his writing. It's very weird. And I don't know how to really put it into words that when I go into his books, I'm really gung-ho about it. It intrigues me, and I'm all in. And then, as the book continues, I kind of peter out on wanting to continue to read his books. But I'm going to keep trying to plug away with it. Maybe if I can read a chapter or 2 a day, I might finally get it done, but I am just slowly realizing he just may not be an author for me. So that's kind of my thoughts right now on this book. And my thoughts may change if I get into a flow with it and pick back up speed. I may change my mind by the end of the month, but here at the whoa, baby girl. The next book I am actually highly enjoying. It is by Julie Zerneda. It's A Turn of Light. This is a challenge. It's a huge book. It's like 864, 67 pages, something like that. A very huge tome book, which is why this month of tomes has been a challenge to get through, and I'm not getting some of my other books started because all that energy is between this, Harry Potter, that I have, and a couple of others. A Rochelle Mead book that I'm reading is over 507 pages. So that's where a lot of my energy is taking place, is with these tomes. But I am enjoying this world. It is I think a high fantasy book. It does involve some of the paranormal stuff going on with this. It was a little slow start, and it does have some slow moments as it's continuing to build the plot, building the background information. It feeds you a little bit more of the background. So it is kind of a little bit of a slow read, but it still intrigues me, and I still enjoy wanting to pick this book up. It's not like I cringe every time I pick it up, because I am finally getting into the meat of the story. We're finding more things about how everything has come about with her in their town that they live in. So I will have a more in-depth final thoughts on this book at the end of the month. Hopefully I will have it finished by then, and that is my goal. And I've gotten almost halfway through with this book. So not bad at all. Progress on this one. This book, Happiness for Humans by PZ Reason. I don't like this book. I'll just tell you up front, I left off, and I don't like the way this is set up. I think there are so many different perspectives, and that's how each chapter is broken up. I think I'm in like chapter 3 or 4. Strike that, I'm only in chapter 2. I am surprised when I look this up on Goodreads how many stars this book actually has. I like the idea of the book. I will say that that is probably my biggest pro. For this book, the idea of an AI system trying to get their humans to fall in love, that's an intriguing twist on a romance type novel. I've not read it before. But the thing that I'm not enjoying is that when you are in the AI system's perspective, I understand that it would be less in depth of emotion wise, and I understand that. But when you go into the human perspective, it's still very choppy, very flat type of writing. There's really not a depth of it. It's not an enjoyable read for me. It's like it goes through and your character's interacting with someone and then all of a sudden they're not. And you don't get a really emotional depth to each of the characters. They're not, at this point at least, not very well fleshed out characters. They seem very shallow, I guess is kind of where I'm going. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read this book just because at this point I don't care about the characters because there's not enough given to me to make me want or root for, oh, I want this character to end up with this character. There's none of that. And I am, how many actual pages am I in this book? I'm at 83 pages in the book, and I have no emotional investment in any of them. Not in the AI systems, not into the main female role character. We finally got, I think, into the male role that's supposed to be the lead male role, and just, I'm gonna try maybe this weekend, try to read a few more pages, but I'm just not invested in the book. And I'm not someone who just wants to read a book to read a book. I want to enjoy what I'm reading, and not feel like it's a job, because I didn't start my channel for it to be a job. It's to enjoy the books that I read or not enjoy the books that I read and tell you why in my experiences with them. Let me know if you've read any of his books. I'm thinking Sicky, I'm not sure, about Easy Reason, and let me know if any of the other writing or books by this author is better, or what your thoughts on this particular book is if you have read it, because right now I'm not enjoying it. Just, that is the flat out truth. Again, my face, I have no filters. My thoughts and feelings pretty much show. No one really has to guess where they stand with me because my face tells it all. I have no poker face. Yeah. Another book that I have, and these are the last two books that are in my May TBR. This book, Thirsty for More by Allison Allen. I have not started this book. This is from my Faith Box service that I got. I want to try to read a little bit out of this one and see if this is better than the Mark Batterson book, because I'm really not enjoying that one. But I have not started this one. It's called Discovering God's Unexpected Blessings in a Desert Season. So finding blessings in the trials that you currently are facing. Is kind of what I'm getting out of the subtitle. So I do, hopefully maybe I can start some this weekend and see what I think of this, and at the end of the month be able to at least tell you I've read some of it and what my initial thoughts are on this particular book. So I have not read anything from that one. And this one, it's a thriller book. It's called The White Mirror by Alyssa Hart. It sounds intriguing, and every time I read the insert of what this book is about, it sounds interesting to me, but every time I think about picking the book up, I don't. I don't know what it is and why I feel that way about it. And this is going on almost 2-3 months now that I say, I'm going to read it, I'm going to pick it up, and then I never do because I'm so much more interested in my other books. So this one may just be passed on to someone who maybe enjoy mystery thrillers a little bit more than I apparently do. It's not my, again, go-to genre. I have found a couple of authors that I did love when I had that particular case sent to me, but I don't know what it is. I have no interest in really reading it. And I keep telling myself I'm going to read it, but I don't. So, a little bit sad on that one, but at least I know it's another book that it's not going to just stay on my shelf and sit on my shelf. It's one I need to go on and donate, and maybe someone else can enjoy it, because I don't think I'm ever going to. If I haven't done it by now, odds are I'm not gonna. But anyways, so kind of on a sad note, but I am proud that I did finish one book, I believe, out of this series, and I'm making some really good progress on some others. And then there is a potential DNF out of this series with Happiness for Humans. I just not enjoying that book. But anyways, I hope that you did enjoy this video. Leave me some comments down below if you've read any books by these authors, what your thoughts and opinions are on them. And until my next video, I hope you have a good one. Bye.